Well, yesterday we looked at the Maycom EM27, the type of set. I'd never seen one working before, but this was new in a box, one I bought some 8 years ago, and I knew it disappeared behind something which we're sorting out. But anyway, we haven't even got as far as doing the on-the-air test when I've got a problem. Where Mr. Chippie went out yesterday evening, got to Scratchy Corner, he got to Wilsford, and from then on it was unreadable. Fine on receive, but I was unreasonable to him, yet the radio's supposed to be doing 3.6 watts. Well, you know, we've had the full 6 mile course on half a watt on a set that actually does half a watt. So considering our Marconi test meter is selective to some degree, where's all the power going? Now it says 5.5 watts on the lying Zytargy meter, but we expect that. So I'm going to see if we can tune this up better with the grid dip oscillator, so we know whatever we're doing is on 27 megs. So that's what we're going to do with Maycom EM27 revisited before we've even done the on-the-air test, because we'll have to redo it. So I'll just pause the video and set up the gear. Right, so I've tuned the meter to 27 megs, and I'm going to have to hold it on the right angle, and hopefully in a way that we can see it on the screen. Curly cords all over the place. That seems to be a good pickup point. So we're now tuning it for only 27 megs. And then that power one. At the moment we're doing 3.1 watts. So just make sure these are absolutely in the best position. What I'm looking for is the metal tool for the power adjust. So now the radio is doing 3.1 watts. I'm hoping it's nearly all on 27 megs. So we'll look at the spectrum analyzer. Right, so I've tuned the meter to 27 megs, and I'm going to have hold it on the right angle, and hopefully in a way that we can see it on the screen. Curly cords all over the place. That seems to be a good pickup point. So we're now tuning it for only 27 megs. turn that power one. At the moment we're doing 3.1 watts. So just make sure these are absolutely in the best position. What I'm looking for is that, the metal tool for the power adjust. So now the radio is doing 3.1 watts. I'm hoping it's nearly all on 27 megs. So we'll look at the spectrum analyzer. Put that on picture in picture. So we're on auto, and let's see, just change glasses and stand up. So we're on channel 20, so the centre frequency will be 27,79125. And it is. Now when I pressed auto before, and I'm going to do it now and then key up, it picked up on 20 megs more than it does 27. Now look at that, it's centre frequency straight on 27.791185. So this time the spectrum analyzer has picked up this signal with its peak at where we want it. Now when I went down before to 20 megs, you see, I hadn't looked down, I'd only looked up like we normally do, and there was more down here. Yeah, that's gone. So I'm going to now set the centre frequency to 55 megs, frequency 55 megs, and we'll now look at our harmonic. And it's minus 56, minus 58 dBm. So that is now how it needs to be. So the tune-up yesterday actually failed, because even with the Marconi test set that I'm using, it was doing more spurious than it was where it should have been. So we'll now look at it, because yesterday it was 3.6 watts into the Marconi test set, 5.5 watts showing on the lying Zetagi meter. So let's see what the lying Zetagi meter says now. He now says about 4.5 watts. So hopefully this time, it's always at least 10% fast, if not more. So let's hope, if we go back to the Marconi test set, it's 3.5 watts. So we've lost 0.1, but I'm hoping we've gained everything, because it's now doing everything on 27 megs. And there was more coming out on 20 megs than there was on 27. So we don't normally look down, we normally only look up. So using the Hearthkit grid dip oscillator, we've now tuned it so that it peaked at 27 megs. And you've seen me do that. And we do have to do that from time to time, but it's disappointing when it's a new set. So we'll do an on-the-air test again today, and we'll see whether Mr. Chippie can now hear us from more than 4 miles away, because that power had to be going somewhere. So I hope that was interesting when you've got a stubborn set which is doing plenty of power but not doing it obviously on the frequency, even though it didn't show initially on the spectrum analyzer because I wasn't looking at the bottom. So there you are, that's using the Hearthkit GD1U. with the Marconi test set and the spectrum analyzer. So a quick revisit of the Maycom. So hopefully we'll do an on-the-air test and it'll be successful. Thank you for watching.